Matt, looking at a one-lander there.
It might be good enough if he has a bunch of one-mana discard spells.
So let's see, what do we got here from Corey? One-lander here from Corey, too. Both these guys keeping aggressive hands.
I think pretty easy to take the Hardened Scales here. Well, actually...
I want to take the Ancient Stirrings.
Yeah, I think it might actually be either Stirrings or the... whatever the 2-drop creature is, I forget its name.
The Metallic Mimic?
Yeah.
I'm probably taking the Stirrings and hoping he doesn't draw a second land. On time, at least.
Yeah, I think you can leave the Hardened Scales because it doesn't do anything on its own. Corey has to find cards that actually interact with it favorably, and he doesn't have those right now, so I think I'm content to leave him with that and take the Stirrings.
I mean, it looks like he might be taking one of these animation modules, or he's reading it at least.
I don't think
he takes the Hardened Scales, okay.
Okay, I mean, it's close between either that or Stirrings, I think.
Yeah. He might be more afraid of the Hardened Scales, because it is the namesake card. I kind of like taking the Stirrings, personally.
Well, he's just going to cast the module turn 1.
That's fine. You don't need to play the Stirrings yet.
Does kind of leave the Stirrings open to getting Thought Seized this turn if he has another discard spell. Just going to play the Rack.
Oh, he's got 2 Mutavaults. He didn't keep a one-lander.
Oh, he's got a Raven's Crime.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's not going to get the Stirrings. That probably gets the other module. Yep.
Matt's got a pretty good opener here. Corey not putting any pressure on him yet either. Did he find a second land? He did.
Yep.
Welding Jar.
Welding Jar, Mimic, probably the play here.
I want to keep one Welding Jar in hand because it protects against...
the Rack?
Yeah.
That makes sense, because as it stands now, he's going to take 1 damage.
And the thing is, like, Welding Jar isn't good against the removal Matt plays because he plays a bunch of, like, sacrifice effects.
That's true. Let's see what this is. Reading Raven's Crime. He could be retracing that this turn. He has a Mutavault in hand.
I think he's deciding if he wants to do that or to do the Smallpox. He is going to do a Shrieking Affliction, okay.
Okay. Seems pretty good.
If you're doing the Shrieking Affliction, I want to see him retrace. No, he's just going to pass.
All right, so
that's interesting to me.
He takes 1 on upkeep from the Rack, right?
I think so. I don't know how the Rack exactly is worded.
I think it's...
I should know, too, because I actually play a lot of Rack and Legacy. When I do play here, I borrow John's Rack deck.
At the beginning of their upkeep, the Rack deals X damage to that player, where X is 3 minus the number of cards in their hand. So it did 1 there.
Coming in for 2.
Yep.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking about it a little bit. This might actually be a good match for Matt. Smallpox feels really good.
On this board, yeah, it does feel pretty good.
I mean, in general, against this deck, Smallpox feels like it's going to be really good.
Alright, there's an Urborg.
I honestly just want to retrace. Just dump those cards, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of just want to start getting rid of...
I mean, Matt does play a lot of this deck, so he knows how to do it correctly. Maybe going for the Smallpox here.
I don't think Urborg's doing much for you here.
I don't either. I really just want to see him... I didn't even want to see him to play the Mutavault. I wanted to just dump the hand, you know?
Smallpox makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mutavault plus Smallpox is the other line you have here, and it's fine. I mean, Mutavault probably is better than just the Smallpox. Although I say that, but there's a Walking Ballista in Corey's hand, and that card's really brutal when there's cards like Animation Module and, what's that other guy, the Mimic out. So...
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to sacrifice the Mimic here.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Corey looking pretty devastated by that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean... This is going to set him
back. It's pretty devastating, yeah.
That Ballista now can't be cast because he has to sack a land.
And get rid of that, Horizon Canopy there.
Yep, and he's going to discard... He has Forest and Ballista.
I'd just discard the Forest.
That's really rough, because basically, like, now the Ballista can't be cast, because you've discarded the only way you can cast it.
Okay, get rid of the Ballista. I mean, there's a bunch of cards in the deck that enable him to cast it, though.
He's going to take 5 on his upkeep here.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Just passes back.
What do we got?
I didn't see what he drew, but not castable, I guess.
Retrace.
Yep, Retrace.
Raven's Crime is really good in this 8-rack deck, allowing those late-game lands to just dump cards out of their hand.
Yep. Gonna take another 5.
Ancient Stirrings, one of the better draws he could have found here.
I don't know what gets him out of this.
I mean, if anything does, it starts there, right?
Yeah. He just gets a worker and leaves it in hand.
Ah, boo, Matt.
Inquisition you.
Take 5.
You're at 2. Go. Yep.
Corey, seen enough.
Nothing he can do there.
Not a lot, yeah. Really.
His hand was very slow.
Not only was it slow, Matt's hand was really good. So, from Matt here, we got 2 Ratchet Bombs, 1 Asylum Visitor, 2 Brutalities, 2 Shadow of Doubt, 1 Fatal Push, 4 Leyline of the Voids, and 3 Bantu's Last Reckoning. So he's got a lot.
I kind of like Leyline. It shuts off all of the modular stuff.
I kind of just want a bunch of creature removal. I want, like, 2 Ratchet Bombs, probably the 2 Collective Brutalities.
Well, here's the problem. Like, yeah, you bring those in, but creature removal is not very good against a deck that can just move the counters around off of the thing that you're killing, or, like, sacrifice the thing you're killing.
Yeah, but Ratchet Bomb, like, it's usually a 2 or a 3 for 1. Bantu's is what the next one I was going to get to. That one's just going to wrath the board.
Yeah, but crucially, Bantu's does not have the can't be regenerated text.
Yeah, Welding Jar, well, it honestly might be coming out here if I'm Corey. Depends on what's in his board. So tell me what Corey's got here.
He's got a Spellskite, an Evolutionary Leap, Grafdigger's Cage, Relic of Progenitus, Karn, Dismember, Damping Sphere, Nature's Claim. I kind of like Karn.
I want to bring in the Karns, and I want to bring in the 4 Nature's Claims.
Yeah, those all make sense. You need answers to all 8 of his wreck-like permanents. There's
also an argument for Evolutionary Leap to just grind.
Yeah, this seems like a matchup where that's reasonable.
He's not going to interact with it if it resolves.
Let's see, Cage doesn't do anything, Relic doesn't do anything.
Spellskite doesn't do anything.
Dismember does nothing. Damping Sphere does nothing. So, yeah, just those cards should be coming in.
Yep. Just things that help him go long. Still think Matt might be favored. I think if he, like, can wrath the board, or he can just do what he did in the last game and really destroy his hand quickly, and Corey doesn't put on a very fast clock like he didn't, Matt's probably really favored.
Yeah, Corey didn't have a very fast start either. He had no Mox Opal, no, like, turn 1 creature.
He didn't have many creatures in the whole game.
Yeah.
So Corey needs to start a lot faster than that.
I'd be much more interested in seeing how 8-Rack fares against a more typical Hardened Scales draw.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for here. Corey's going to be on the play. Pardon me. Just going to blow your guys' ears out. Don't worry about it. Is anybody still here after that long break?
Yeah, I mean, usually a few people stick around, about 15.
15.
All right, I think I see at least 1 Nature's Claim in Corey's hand. That's probably a keep. Matt looking at Funeral Charm, a bunch of other cheap spells. Seems fine, too.
Turn 1 animation module.
It's the same start as last time, but it looks like he has more to back it up this time.
Yeah, he's got a Welding Jar, a couple of dudes. See what Matt can put together. I'm sure some type of discard.
Looks like he's got turn 1 Thought Seize into turn 2 Smallpox.
Best start you could hope for.
Alright, let's see what he's working with. So, Welding Jar.
That looks like in
Worker.
the
Graft Land, Nature's Claim. Is that second Nature's Claim next to it? I think so.
It might be. Yeah, it is.
He doesn't have any racks in his hand. So he might just ignore the Nature's Claims completely.
I think you just take the only creature.
Yeah. Seems fine to me.
Oh, take the Welding Jar.
Take Welding Jar. Okay.
I mean, you can answer the Worker, no problem.
That's true. He has Liliana in hand. He also has Smallpox, turn 2. So he can just let him play out the Worker and then just kill it.
Yeah. Nope, maybe not. Made a servo. Made a bender.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that interaction.
I'm a big fan of his constructs.
Yeah.
Every time he plays them, it makes me happy. Let's see, what do we got, Matt? I'm not as big a fan of the Smallpox now.
He can Funeral Charm the token.
Saying that, the Smallpox puts him down to possibly 1 land. If he doesn't have another one and doesn't draw one. I'm always just going to say go, though.
Well, now what's going to happen is he's going to play the Worker and then get another trigger and make another servo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a Hardened Scales.
Oh, man.
Well, he doesn't get the trigger now.
2 counters.
So what he can do here is he can go Funeral Charm your token, untap, play Liliana, minus kill your Worker.
Or Smallpox.
Yeah, or Smallpox is probably better.
Because he's going to miss a land drop here.
Yeah. Guess he's trying to explain how Hardened Scales interacts with Modular.
Get you for 1.
This should get Funeral Charmed.
I would be surprised if Matt doesn't.
He has no way to clean up the Worker next turn without casting Funeral Charm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I really want to see a Smallpox here with the miss land drop.
Looks like that's what we're going to see.
And then you can hold up this Fatal Push, too.
It's either Smallpox or Liliana here.
I think Smallpox Fatal Push is just infinitely better than just play a Liliana. I mean, it's really just the fact that he missed this land drop. Really?
Fatal Push. I don't know what his plan was there.
I think he went too quickly.
All right, what's he got here?
Because that seemed like a pretty bad mistake.
Well, I don't know. If he finds a creature here, he finds a Ballista. I don't know if he's going to choose it or not. But he can't cast it this turn without an extra land. I think that's a Mox Opal that he's looking at right now.
Mox Opal's not even online.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure why he didn't just Smallpox there and use that Fatal Push.
Does he have something else in hand that he could be doing? I don't think so.
He's got a Collective Brutality, but, like, that's
not going to have targets. Yeah, he finds a Mox Opal and just doesn't play it. Mutavault. Maybe he Smallpoxes now. It's kind of rough now because you don't get any value from killing a creature.
You get no creature value. And here you just have to play a Lily. Like, you can't Smallpox this turn now. That's just a bad sequencing.
Yep. All right, it's going to tick up. Probably throwing away
one of these Nature Claims.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep. The Sink Moth could start going after the Liliana.
There's another one. Mox Opal. There's an Arcbound Ravager.
Gotta be really careful here. Well, actually, if he plays this Ravager this turn, Matt can go minus Liliana, Smallpox.
Just Smallpox.
No, because he's gonna go. If he minuses Liliana, Corey's gonna go animate my Inkmoth Nexus, move my counters from my Ravager to my Inkmoth Nexus, and then he can cast Smallpox after that and blow him out.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Unless he's no, he's gonna tap to make a servo instead. That's probably a little better. That's definitely the better play against Edict effects.
Yeah. Well, he can still... Oh, no, he's got a Mox Opal here. I was going to say, can he still just wrath the board, but no.
I mean, now he can just Edict and cast Smallpox.
That's, yeah, I mean,
It's not a very high value target for that. But I think you have to clear his board here, and he's got nowhere to move the counters to. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to go for Smallpox.
I'm fine with that. He's not going to be able to get rid of this Ravager. Because if he goes for this Edict, what's his name? You can sack the animation module if you want. No, not the animation module. You float a mana, and then you use the animation module. You sack the...
Yeah, you sack the animation module,
you sack the Opal to...
Oh, yeah, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Sack the Opal, yeah.
That's what he's doing, yeah. He saw it. Not surprised. Corey's a master of this Hardened Scales deck.
Yep. So now he gets to untap with the 6/6.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Matt can block it, but that's not good. I mean, Corey's just gonna kill him here, actually. Infect.
Does he have enough mana?
Yeah, he for sure does. He just has to animate the Ink Moth, sack the one, what you call it?
The module.
The module that's 8 counters.
Oh yeah, yeah. He just kills him here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's gonna put 8 counters on it, and if it had 2 more,
it was gonna get 9 counters because of the...
Right, because he'd sack that.
Well, no, it gets the Hardened Scales, puts +1 counters on it.
Shrieking Affliction.
So it's just gonna be a 10/10 Ink Moth Nexus.
Yep, he's just gonna go for it.
And you're dead. 10 poison. That goes up to 8. You sack the Ravager. It gives it 9. 10 Infect. Bam.
All right.
Going to game 3. Love to see an 8-rack deck. I do too. It's one of my favorite archetypes in Modern. It's a very punishing deck. But it also has games like that where it just looks like a bad draft deck almost. You know what I mean?
You know what card would have saved him there?
What?
Leyline of the Void.
Yeah, that's true. It looks like he might be boarding him in here.
No, those cards that he set aside there are Bantu's Last Reckoning.
Why wouldn't you board those in game 2?
I don't know.
Very favored against Phoenix. I could totally see it being really good against Phoenix.
I mean, yeah, they're emptying their hand for you already, so...
Right, and then your Pox effects are just super good against them. If your Pox effects are good in a matchup, Rack is probably favored.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's why I think it's the comparison I'll use here is Mono Blue and Standard. The reason it's so good right now is because its Spell Pierces are good. And in a format where your Spell Pierces are good as the tempo deck, you're going to be well positioned. And they counter all the removal with it. That's why that deck's just so over the top right now. It got Terramander, and its Spell Pierces are so powerful in this meta. But enough about Standard. We're not here to talk about Standard tonight.
Matt's still looking at how he wants the sideboard.
He probably feels like he... Oh, man, is that a Silent Visitor? No, take that out.
All right, yeah, he gets rid of it.
Yeah, there you go. Him not bringing in those Bantus feels like a pretty bad judgment call for game 2. You just want everything that says kill a creature. Because you have the better late game for sure.
Boards out some Thought Seizes.
That's fine. You're not really on the discard plan very much in this game. Who do you think's favored?
I don't know. It looks like sometimes, depending on Corey's hand, Matt's removal could just like not line up properly.
That's true.
But at the same time, with Matt being on the play, if he has a turn 1 discard effect and he just gets to take Corey's best card, Corey's hand can definitely fall apart. Hardened Scales is definitely a critical mass deck, and if he starts like removing key pieces of his board state, his hand could fall apart pretty quickly.
Very true. No, I have not seen Matt play a bridge yet. Doesn't mean he's not playing them, though.
Bridge also would have saved him there.
Yeah, bridge would have been pretty good in that spot. That's you know what? It really wouldn't have, though, because Matt had a card in hand.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah, it wouldn't have helped at all.
I mean, if he had a bridge, though, he's probably never having a card in hand.
It's Mutavault, Detection Tower, Swamp, Bantu's, Rack.
That sounds awful. Feel like we got to throw that one back. Unless he feels like he can just win this game off the back of a Bantu's Last Reckoning.
I can't tell what the card all the way at the back is. Oh, that's an Inquisition. This might actually be good enough.
If that's an Inquisition, I'm keeping that. Yep, okay. You take away the only non-creature, and then you just wipe away the creatures later.
Yeah.
Either that or you take a Hangerback Walker because it relieves things around.
It's going to depend on how much Corey plays around the sweeper here. If he decides to play out his whole hand. I think the Hangerback Walker is likely the choice because the Thopters can be annoying. But if you're able to clean it up before it gets too big, dealing with only one Thopter is not a big deal.
Right. Oh my god. What a good Magic player.
Yep, finds a second Hangerback Walker. This is going to be a lot of stuff for Matt to fight through.
Draws a Raven's Crime there.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to retrace that every turn.
I was going to say, you know what, at least he's casting spells every turn too.
Yep.
And he is working on the resources, so we'll see. This resource denial plan might get there.
This card's Walking Ballista. That one's not great in this matchup, honestly.
No, it's kind of just a burn spell. What are we going to do here on turn 2 for Matt? Welding Jar? That was a good draw.
Yeah. It's going to make that Bantu's look pretty bad. Still has 3 cards in hand, so he's not taking any damage.
I think if I'm Matt, I'm just going to start going on this turbo discard plan.
Yeah.
You go turbo discard and then clean up the board next turn or the turn after.
Yeah, he doesn't need all these lands.
No, for sure.
I'm fine with playing a land and planning on just throwing away my last 2 lands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to try to push some damage through here. I like this.
He's racing. I don't like playing that Urborg there. I think you wanted to play the other Mutavault. I guess you do need 2 black.
Yeah, you need to be able to, like, retrace Raven's Crime multiple times. Ravager.
Corey's drawing very well here.
Alright. He's going to take 1 from the attack. Bantu's is very bad now.
Yeah.
Unless he has a spot removal spell.
He does not.
Because Matt casts Bantu's, and then Corey goes, put everything on my Arcbound Ravager, Welding Jar it.
Well, I can actually counter here. I don't think Bantu's is bad because Corey's out of cards in hand, and Matt has 2 Mutavaults. So he's got a really fast clock here.
That's true. I do wonder where he's going to put all the counters at the end of this. There's an argument for just moving them all to the hangerback walker.
I was going to say, you just put him on the hangerback. That makes as many Thopters as possible.
Okay, he's just going to welding jar the Ravager and let the hangerback walker die and make 2 Thopters.
I'm fine with that.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
That also makes it easier to set up an infect kill if he wants to later.
True. He actually has a 2-turn infect clock here if he wants to go for it.
That's probably going to be what he does. That's going to force Matt to draw a Fatal Push or die.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to go for it.
Yep. I mean, Matt's tapped out. No reason not to do it.
There he goes.
Sacks both of them. Put 5 counters on it.
5-5. You're dead next turn, Matt. You got something, buddy? No? He doesn't look like it. We're going to see the hand extended in just a second.
Yeah, I can't tell what that is in his hand, but it doesn't seem good. He still has those dice on top of his...
What's Matt's
library.
other non-basic land? That's an Urborg.
He's holding...
Third Mutavault's not going to do it. Extend that hand.
Yep. Yeah.
Infect. Very good mechanic.
Manlands are definitely a problem for the mono black deck.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of instant speed interaction. They have like their fatal pushes, but that's about it. All their stuff is sorcery speed edict effects.
He has Fatal Push, Funeral Charm. Funeral Charm doesn't get him out of that anyway.
No.
So, like, actually just Fatal Push.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he has, like, a Cast Down or something weird like that.
Somewhere in there, I'm sure. All right, guys. We'll be back soon for the last round.